Hi folks, thought I'd give you all a little update today. I'm just going to say thank you for the shout from Lee and Jim, so Mary Hinge and Lee Hughes, because they did a little shout up for the smaller channels today and was it yesterday, but it's much appreciated, and I'm going to go hunt down the other channels that they mentioned just because I haven't actually heard about a few of those. Quite a few of them obviously I do know. Shano I've been following for quite a bit now, but yeah, I think that's a really nice little thing to do for the community. Thanks guys. Just going to keep you posted on the little project that I'm on. I say little, the absolutely huge project I've been working on. These are the Zulu War Empress figures, the British. These have gone from being primed to this kind of state. You might notice that there's a bit of a sheen on them. That's just because after putting the base coats I gloss varnished them, just to give them a bit of protection when I was painting them up. So that will all be matted down. These are the ones that you might have seen a couple of weeks ago. They were all in, well, they were all primed white really. It's not my favourite way of priming, but it's how they came to me. I bought them as a eBay unwanted project. I haven't finished basing yet, but quite happy with the ammunition crates actually. So I've got two of those. These are the Empress ones, albeit for one or two Redoubt miniatures. This one's a Redoubt miniature with a head conversion, and this one's just a Redoubt casualty figure who's come out alright. As I said, once these are based up, I've just given them one layer of the Wilco emulsion paint just as a base colour for the base. I'll let you know which ones I've used. So I've got Nutmeg Spice, which is a Wilco tester pot, and I've used that as the main colour for Zulu War bases and terrain as well. And the highlight for that then is just a dry brush of Chocolate Dream. So that you see that colour. Yeah, nice little mix on those. Not a very good example because I haven't done it on any of these. I suppose that is how it comes out. I'll be a bit of a heavy dry brush on that one. And I go in with dead grass then. You can actually go quite luscious grass for Zululand, especially early on in the campaign, because it had been raining season. So the famous battles of Izanwan and Rorke's Drift, they had been raining. So you know, it's not like a desert out there. It's just a bit of a misconception, I suppose. I've actually still based them up with dead grass just because I think it works for the wider campaigns, and I suppose it evokes the South Africa more than luscious grass, just in the as our kind of misconception of it. But misconceptions can be quite powerful, and I think it still looks really good, even if it's a little bit inaccurate. Sorry. So yeah, guys, I've just been chipping away at these. It doesn't look like this much now, but this has taken me 2 weeks of flat out painting. I've been having a bit of trouble with webbing, just getting it just right. For now I've settled on a sort of a very off-white, so I was asking Lee about this. We've gone for, it's not white really, it's very light grey. I think that's the way you're meant to paint white, and of course the webbing was heavily stained with tea and coffee, so I've gone in with a brown wash over the light grey. And I think I'm happy with it for now. What I might do with some of the webbing is go even more stained and go over an Iraqi sand with a brown wash. This is Colour Sergeant Bourne without his, I haven't painted his insignia yet. I'm not sure whether to highlight the red. It's only had a base coat of Mephiston Red and a brown wash. I have highlighted the wood grain on the rifles though, and with the metallic areas on the guns, I'm going to try and do a non-metallic highlight, so that's going up lighter greys to achieve a metallic colour without using metallic paints. This is the bugler. So there will be a proper bolster for my Zulu War forces. I really ought to be getting on with the Zulus as well. I've got unpainted miniatures for both sides. I had this in the post today, a foreground flatbed wagon. Quite good value in that. I'm trying to think how much it was. One of them was a £5. This one might have been £9 actually. Not sure whether to go for the good stuff or just to get lots of them. I think the difference is between Sarissa and foreground. See how this one builds up, and I'll let you know which one I prefer. That's about it, folks. They're not actually finished, so I don't like showing them when they're not finished. This leather is just English uniform. I haven't got a nice leather colour that I'm happy with yet. As I said, I've got the insignia and I think they're called the Austrian knots, all in white on all their sleeves. Some of them have, well, in the Zulu War you had, older soldiers might have had chevrons on their lower arms, so next to their cuffs they'd have these white chevrons. That was like how long you served, or like a chevron for marksmanship and things like that. So some of them have those. So yeah, it's time to get to me now, because I've spent 2 weeks on them and they're still not done. However, I have been working on other things. I think that's what I'm not showing. I'm painting up a few things for friends. I've done some preparing of miniatures. You know, it's quite a time-consuming hobby, or at least it can be. I'm painting up a T-34. I don't have that to hand, I'm afraid, but I'm hoping to use that for the Second World War and as well the Vietnam War, because they still had some of those left over. And by putting a red communist star on it, I can get away with using it for both conflicts, which I thought was a bit cheeky, but also very convenient. I've also made a start on the Empress miniatures. I've cleaned them up, primed them, and they're ready to be, well, they've had their flesh tones done, so I need to have a think whether I want to go in with a snow camo or something similar for those. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to let you know of. I have an awful lot of Zulu War things yet to do, and it's really, it hasn't really put me off. It's just a bit slow at the moment, just because I've done things in such big batches. But in a week or so, all of these fellas will all be done. I just need to settle on whether I'm happy with the webbing and helmets as well. These are base coated with Khaki, but I prefer the Iraqi sand on them. And you can even paint some of them white with a heavy brown stain. Really is up to you. If you want some more strict colour guides, I can either put them into a description of a video, or just make a video just for it, really. I do have enough time to do that. I think I'll leave it there for now, folks. I'll have more to show you next week, should we say, or maybe even on the weekend. Yeah, we've had a good couple of videos last couple of days. Lee Hughes, Mary Hinge, I'm sure there's a few I'm forgetting. Go check them out. And those ones are good jumping off points for any new, well, not new subscribers for me, but for anyone who's getting into the YouTube community now. That gives you a good idea of those videos as to where you can go off to next. I think that's about it, folks. I'll catch up with you later. Alright, ta-da.